1320 AM on our radio or on your phone with the KOFA app or on your computer with borderradioaz.org. We are glad that you've chosen us. Stay tuned for What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter. It's 10 o'clock.
Take KAWC and Border Radio with you everywhere with the KAWC KOFA app. The app lets you stream our news and music programs, link to the latest headlines from NPR, and hear stories from the KAWC newsroom. Download it to your smartphone through the Apple Store or Google Play Store. Just search for KAWC to load it to your phone right now.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon.
On today's program, we are going to be joined first by Adam MacDermot. He's the owner of Solid Family Tattoo, and he's going to be sharing his journey from South San Diego as a graffiti artist to a professional tattoo artist. We'll be discussing creativity, tattoo culture, entrepreneurship, and building a shop centered around family, respect, and meaningful artwork. After that, it's off to Edna Castro. She's a real estate agent serving Yuma and San Luis. She's going to be sharing her powerful story of overcoming adversity, achieving home ownership as a single mother, and now helping other families realize the same dream for themselves. So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. You can also view our show on the Border Radio Facebook page and the KAWC YouTube page. And don't forget, you can reach out to us by email at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Citrine Law, LLC, a Yuma law firm practicing criminal defense, DUI defense, and personal injury law. Information is at citrinelaw.com.
Chili from Philly. Unique Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon. And Johnny, I understand you were at a big event here on campus yesterday.
Yes, it was the 10th president of AWC, Ritika Dewan. It was her welcome reception over here at the Shoning building. And incredible event. We were talking a little bit off air. When I came in and I saw the list of speakers that were on there, it was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be here forever. My daughter's with the babysitter right now, you know.
Sure.
But it went by really quick. The speakers didn't exhaust anybody's time, but it was almost electric. Like all the nice things and all the good things people said about Ritika.
Okay.
Starting off from, I think she was working in Parker, math in Parker, and then made her way all the way to becoming the president here. And it's cool, like the homegrown, somebody that's, kind of went through the ranks here is now the president. But
yeah, so I was not able to be there. I would have gone, but I had to go pick up my dog from the vet.
Oh, okay.
I really had to. That wasn't my excuse.
Yeah.
But,
my dog ate my homework or something.
Yeah, no. But we had Cecilia was there, and we had Cisco representing the newsroom.
Yep, Cisco was there doing interviews, getting sound bites. But yeah, it was an incredible event, and it was like, it's almost, I don't know. I would say the word supernatural or something, because it's like how many people she's affected, and what they said about her, and all the powerful people in town, and the relationship it seems like she has with each one. It doesn't seem very transactional. It seems like she's really here to solve problems and get stuff done. So that's really good for the whole community.
Yes. And so we'll see more on that later on KWC. And then you were there. I believe Stephanie was there getting content for What's Up Yuma on social media.
Yeah, we're going to put together a video. Stephanie, she did great. She was so excited, Stephanie. Okay. She had her questions prepared, and you got to kind of get in there because everybody wanted to go and say hi to Ritika and give her a hug and stuff. And I'm like, go get it, Stephanie.
Okay.
This is your chance. But it was a great event. But how's your dog doing?
My dog is okay. She just got spayed, so she's wearing the big cone.
Yeah.
But other than that, in better spirits today. Yesterday she was kind of dopey because, she had been sedated. Mm-hmm. So today she was more like her normal self.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad she's good.
Thank you.
So do you want to introduce the guest? Do you have it?
I can. So we have Adam MacDermot. He's the owner of Solid Family Tattoo in Yuma. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me. What's up, Yuma?
Good morning. And I met you or introduced to who you are from another guest, Solid Brown.
Right.
And I thought like you guys were a crew because of the Solid stuff, right?
Solid Family,
right.
Solid Family, yeah. And but no, that's not the case.
Nah, shout out to Carlos, man. So when I first got out here, I was looking for somebody to do some T-shirts, and we just happened to click up. We've been known each other for about 3 years now. So it just was a coincidence. You know, he's solid brown. I'm solid family. So it's kind of like a Cali thing, man. We just kind of
Is that what it is? Maybe the name, the solid, like do you guys use that a lot in Cali? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
he's a solid dude or something, you know?
Go. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I was really surprised to find out that it wasn't, but shout out to Carlos for linking us up.
For sure.
So we're going to get into what you do at your tattoo spot. But before that, we want to get to know you. That's what we do with all of our guests. You grew up in the Imperial Beach area of Cali?
Yes, sir.
Next to the border?
Yeah, so Imperial Beach is the most southwesternly part of the United States. We border Tijuana. So basically, when you're on the beach, man, you see the border going in right to the ocean, and you got TJ right there. So there's a lot of culture, a lot of graffiti, a lot of artwork around and stuff like that.
So what was it like growing up where you grew up?
It was cool. It's a beach town.
So it is a beach town.
It is a beach town.
So, okay. So that's interesting. Like a border beach town. So it's not as rough? Or
I would say it's not as rough. We got our parts. We don't go in the water a lot because we border, Tijuana and stuff, and their sewage comes into our ocean. So you get the beach town, but you're like, oh, you're from the beach, but we don't really use the beach. So it's kind of...
Do you at least hang out at the beach at all?
Everybody's hanging out at the beach.
Yeah, you hang out there, but not too many people getting in the water.
Exactly.
You're just kind of enjoying the breeze.
That's it. Yep. Chilling. I mean, everybody links up out there. You got the car shows. They do a lot of stuff like sandcastle events and stuff like that. So it's real community oriented. So it's nice.
So San Luis is a border town here. Now, is there a lot of joint ventures with the other side with Tijuana? Do they kind of do stuff like they do here? Like we have a mayor's bike ride where we go down over there and we celebrate. Was there anything like that growing up?
Not really.
No?
Usually over there, just where we border. I mean, they don't really... It doesn't really connect with this part of the United States.
Oh,
just
okay.
Because there's a lot of stuff going on over there.
Gotcha.
It's just
yeah, it's Tijuana. Yeah,
there you go.
It's a TJ,
exactly.
But so not as much. But so growing up, you're an artist, right? You're a tattoo. How'd you get into that? Were you doodling as a kid, or?
So it started when I was young, man. Probably like 4th grade. I have ADHD, so I was always bouncing off the walls. So I had a teacher basically was like, hey, when you feel like bouncing around, disturbing everybody, draw on this little pad. And I just started drawing, man. By the end of the day, the whole pad was filled up. So fast forward to 2016.
So we're not going to fast forward yet.
Okay.
We don't do that yet. But
All right.
You're there, the teacher, because it's difficult being a teacher. You have so many students, and I'm the same thing. They told me I had diarrhea of the mouth, but now I'm doing a radio show. So
go.
See where I'm at now, Miss Ponce. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
there you go.
She was like, yeah, you just talk so much. Like you need to stop talking, right? And sit down. That's all she told me. But it sounds like your teacher gave you some tools to deal with it.
Yeah, and it calmed me down. She was the only one who really took the time to kind of sit there and was like, hey, I know what I'm trying to teach you. You're probably way past that. So, when you get a little urge to, disrupt everybody that's trying to learn.
So maybe you knew stuff already. Maybe something kind of came easy to you and you're like, all right, yeah, I got that. Now what am I going to do with the rest of the time?
Kind of bored in there, doodling around on the desk and,
So you're doing that. Now, you filled it up, you said the first day or the first week? You kind of
probably the first few days.
The first few days?
The whole book, yeah.
Now, what were you doing? Do you remember at all in 4th grade what you're doodling?
I was doing those little, when you draw the little skateboard on the pad and you flip it and he'd be go through and do a whole trick or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're doing mini cartoons.
I thought I was gonna say like everyone does the S, that stylized S.
The gangster S, yeah.
So I was wondering. That's what I was gonna say. Like, did you do the S at all? Like that S that everybody does?
Yeah, 6 lines, tied in. Yeah, we do that.
Yeah. So you're doing that, and you said it helped you. Like, tell me a little bit about what it helped you.
It helped me with the hyper focus, man. So I think I was just kind of zoned in to what I was doing, and then everything was kind of blocked out. And I think that's where the tattooing comes into play, because when I'm tattooing and I'm doing a piece, it's just me drawn in there to that client, locked in, just kind of focusing there. When I'm not tattooing, everything is everywhere. So it's just...
So it's that's like your safe space almost for you. You get to go there, you kind of relax.
My therapy,
Yeah, you get to okay, here we go.
Yep. Create. I get to hear cool stories all day too. So a lot of it is it's a lot of therapy, man. It's just putting my artwork on somebody and just
So, and you mentioned therapy for you?
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I guess you're in the industry, people call it like, I need tattoo therapy.
Yeah.
That's a therapy for people. They go over there. The same thing. The reason why I went and got this on my hand.
Right.
You know, a friend called and she's like, I just got dumped. It's like, oh no, it's like, let's go get tattoos. They're like, let's do it. Yeah. Right. You know, and we showed up, Cheyenne and I went over to her studio and she loved it, had a great time. Even her parents were like, she was in different spirits the next day. She, you know, so it is a therapy on both sides, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And the vibe I try to put off, you know, we're family oriented, you know, it's just me there right now. So, and my wife's there, you know, you might run into our kids at the front desk and stuff. So I try to put off that family energy to where everybody can feel welcome, want to come back and not like I'm just, you know, taking money from you. At the end of the day, it's, you know, we're all in the business to, you know, make some money and whatnot, but I feel like people coming to me, they're trusting me with something. It's permanent, and you know they're letting me in their personal stories, man. So I feel like it's kind of a win-win for everybody if they come back and we just build that relationship together. Yeah, we're going to see how personable you are and how welcoming you are to see if Victor's going to get a tattoo after this, because he has none right now.
We'll see. TBD, no promises.
No promise. But so you're young, you're doodling, you're doing this. But what do you go into your first job? Like you didn't start this until later, right? Right. Yeah. So I used to be an administrative assistant. So I wore a suit and tie every day. Suit and tie every day. Every day, man. I was fully tattooed and was, you know, had to cover my stuff. Yeah, man. I was working at these high-rise condos and stuff, so there was a lot of wealthy people there. And back then, tattoos were frowned upon, you know what I mean? So how'd you get into that field? Were you like academics? Like you were, you know, really good in school? Well, my grandfather actually knew the lady who managed the place. So she was like, hey, my grandson's looking for a job. I was like 18 at the time or something, and bam. I was doing construction for a while before that, and then went over there and I worked there for like 8 years. 8 years with the suit and tie. Man, I had dental, vision, everything. Oh man, now you're bragging. No, but you're mentioning that because where you're at now, it's not the case. That's not the case. So it's a big jump. But what was it like those 8 years? It was cool. I met a lot of interesting people. It was fun. It was kind of boring, to be honest with you. You know, did the ADHD come back though? Like, you know, I took a lot of black books to work. You know, a lot of drawing. I was by myself a lot, so it kind of helped. You know what I mean? I was just drawing and stuff, but it got boring. There was no growth, and then the art always stuck to me. And I had friends that were tattooers. I had friends that owned a shop. So at that time, you're covering up. You're wearing a suit because of the position you're at. Are you still getting tattoos while this is happening? Yeah, all the time. Yeah, every day. So I would work like a swing shift. So I'd get off at 11 o'clock. I'd either go to the tattoo shop, get tattooed up, or I had a buddy come to my house or whatever. You know, do like a house call type thing. So you're doing that. Now, what was it for you that it was a therapy for you, or like an escape from the suit type of life? Yeah, escape for that. A lot of my buddies were over there. We had a wall in the back and they would do a lot of graffiti. So it was kind of like the hangout spot too. And that was the next thing I was going to get into. So the graffiti, when did that take place? That's kind of always since I was about 12, 13 years old. Yeah. And my grandparents were really supportive of the artwork. So, that's cool. Yeah, I had a huge concrete wall in the backyard, and all my buddies would come over to the house and we'd paint murals, and so they were real supportive of the art and stuff. So it was kind of like the gathering spot right there at the house. And there's a family like that here. Ruben, I was actually just thinking about his dad yesterday. He goes by Doobie, and his grandmother did the same thing. So it became almost a landmark in Yuma. Yep. It was over there off of 4th Avenue and like 8th. But anyway, like, she would let him do these murals, him and his friends do these murals on her property on this brick wall, and people would go there and see it, like, okay, like every month he would kind of change it up and go over there. It became a staple. For facing property. Yeah, and he's not. And you know, still today, like you can go to his page, Doobie on Instagram. He goes out and takes pictures of all the trains. Okay. Yeah. So he's still a big fan of the artist. We've all gotten a lot older, but like he still goes out there and he'll chase trains and try to find the real cool stuff. That's cool. But now, were you doing it with spray paint? Obviously, were you pretty good? I was okay. So I to be honest, I wasn't that good at like the graffiti letters and stuff. I did a lot more characters, but I was tagging on a lot of stuff, so everyone knew my name around and stuff like that. So
that kind of made up for the lack of the piecing.
Yeah,
part of
so
it, I guess.
because there's in graffiti, right? There's the tagging part of it, and then but there's also like throwing up or doing a
the
bomb
pieces,
or do a piece.
Yep.
Tell everybody the difference.
So, I mean, tagging's more you're just kind of writing, scribbling on everything you see in sight. The piecing side and the mural side is more, you're taking your time, you're putting a lot into it. People are, wanting to pay you for it. There's the bombing side when you're just, hitting the trains. You're kind of just doing bubblies everywhere, just kind of throwing your name out there type thing like that.
So what was your favorite to do? What was it? Or maybe not your favorite, but maybe you're limited because, like you said, the tagging side of it.
Probably going out tagging and just, when you're younger and you don't have those, that consequence in the back of your head, you know what I mean? It's a little different. So,
and PSA wise, the consequences there, I got arrested for it. And then, when I got arrested and I went to juvie for it, I felt more, I guess, pain for my parents that had to pay all the restitution.
Yes, there you go.
And I was like, oh my goodness. My mom was like, you know how much you've cost us? Because
what people don't understand is that you got to pay for everything you messed up. Yeah.
You go to the police station and they got like a book right there of all the stuff with your name on it and like a Polaroid, and you go through it and it's like, yep, that's that. We're charging you with this. We're charging you with this. And it's like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this. And that was the last time I ever, that's the last time I ever did it. But there's definitely consequences. So thank God to everybody. Later on, what I ended up doing when I started to do my shows, I put on hip hop shows, we did legal walls for people.
There you go.
To give them that outlet, because culture is culture, right?
Right. And people, like you said, people are paying for it. So they want you to come and paint this big old mural, and it's pretty cool. So I got buddies back home that are getting paid now to do humongous murals.
Really?
Yeah.
So anybody like that's noteworthy, somebody that we might be able to look up on Instagram or something?
I got one of my buddies, Gore.
Gore?
He's out there, original, shout out to Headquarters Tattoo. He does a lot of murals for people. Not really notable people, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we're all pretty quiet, man.
Yeah.
We just kind of let the work speak for itself type thing.
Because I know in San Diego, up a little further, Tribal was real big,
there,
right? And a lot of those artists go out and they do stuff. And they're also part of the tattoo community, right?
Big time, yeah.
Were you ever hang out with them? You ever get to?
Nah, so funny story is my sister's husband did, so he does construction. He actually built a building for those guys out in Tribal. And when I was like, probably 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I got hooked up, bro, with a whole bunch of gear and stickers and all that stuff back then. But personally, I don't know them. So.
Yeah. So, but it is like culture. It's something to do. It's what your friends are doing.
That's
and then one of my friends ended up doing Snoop Dogg's house.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was on one of those, like the MTV Cribs version of it. They did that, and they got to show his artwork. He was in there doing it. It was just on TV very briefly, but he's from Phoenix, and he was able to be on there. And Snoop Dogg, commissioned a piece of artwork from this guy that just started off doing stuff as a kid.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, there's a lot of outlets for the art, man. You never know how far you can go. Get on like water bottle. I see a lot of like artists now on like those like water bottles and stuff like that, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break, and then on the other side, we're going to do two things. Talk a little bit about tattoo culture and how you ended up in Yuma.
All right,
we're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma Radio is sponsored in part by Nova Home Loans, serving Yuma County and nearby communities. Nova Home Loans offers residential lending services, including home loans and refinancing. They are also proud supporters of local community efforts and organizations. More information is available at novahomeloansyuma.com.
You are tuned to 94.7 FM KOFA Border Radio. Another hot day in Yuma as afternoon highs near 110 degrees. Light and variable winds becoming southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour tonight. Increasingly cloudy with a low near 79 degrees. Yaxel Lendeborg, who played at Arizona Western College in Yuma, was drafted by the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday. Lendeborg will become the fifth player in Arizona Western's men's basketball program history to reach the NBA. More on this online at KWC.org.
The City of Yuma invites families to dive-in movie night on Saturday, July 11th at Marcus Pool. Enjoy a free showing of The SpongeBob Movie, Search for SquarePants, from the pool or pool deck under the summer sky. Gates open at 7 and the movie begins at sunset. Information at yumaaz.gov under events.
This is Border Radio, KOFA, your passport to your global destination for music. We are your local public broadcasting station that can be heard through your radio at 94.7 FM, 1320 AM, on the KOFA app, and at borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here joined by
Adam from Solid Family Tattoo. And before we get into how you came to Yuma, I want to ask you, like, you have a lot of ink on you. What's most personal to you? Is like something you can share, like, either there's a story behind it or something meaningful to you?
Probably would be my grandparents' tattoo. I have some prayer hands and their initials and stuff like that. They're a big part of my life and
Very
where
cool.
I'm at. And they passed away about 15 years ago. So yeah, that's probably my most meaningful. A lot of them are just, we were bored at the tattoo shop and
Sure.
that was it.
No, that's very cool.
But yeah, that's
Very
probably
cool.
it.
And you said that your grandparents were very supportive of you and the art. How'd they support you?
Just letting me be me. So I would come home some days, man, I'd have a pile full of black books and deco markers and just cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just being real supportive, letting my friends come over there. And a lot of us were fatherless, little delinquents and stuff. So we all kind of gathered there, and she was grandma to everybody. So
She was grandma, and she kind of let
it.
you be you to
That's
kind of
it.
develop this.
yeah, she'd be the one to, we get in trouble at school, and she'd pick up all 5 of me and my friends, Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah.
like
So
that.
then you're mentioning, so you were a suit for a while. You're doing that, and you had your healthcare, your dental, your vision, your set. And you married at that time?
No, we weren't married at that time. No.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet.
So then, what you kind of like just dropped the mic. I'm out of here. What was it that you said? I want to be a tattoo
Well,
artist.
me and my girl, we've been together now 18 years.
Okay.
So
You guys were together at that time.
We were together at that time.
just
but
not married.
We weren't
Okay.
married. So a big part of it was I had a friend that was tattooing, and I had him come over to do a house call, and he charged like this ridiculous number, and I was making X amount of dollars every 2 weeks, and he made my paycheck in like 30 minutes.
He made your paycheck in 30 minutes.
Yep.
You're like, wait a minute, does this really math up? You're
we go.
looking at it, and it's like, and then you said like, I could do this.
Yeah, I could do this. And I had a buddy he had a tattoo shop, and I was like, hey, hook me up with an apprenticeship. And he's like, fix this tattoo machine. I didn't know anything about that, so that kind of failed. So there goes my apprenticeship. And then I went and bought a little tattoo kit at some smoke shop and tattooed my legs all night. And
So you'd practice on yourself.
that's it. Yeah.
For how long did you practice on yourself?
Probably like a week.
A week. And then apprenticeship, that's something, did you end up apprenticing under somebody? You got to learn from somebody, right?
You do, yeah. So the traditional apprenticeship is, you don't learn nothing about tattooing. You're just running around grabbing coffees and lunch for everybody type thing, cleaning the shop. Now, I mean, everybody just grabs a machine and they're a tattoo artist, in my opinion. I don't want to knock anyone or anything like that. What I did was I got an apprenticeship through one of my buddies. I went there. I linked up really, really well with one of the artists, and he kind of just taught me everything he knew and took me under his wing.
So what are some of the things you learn as an apprentice?
A lot of it would be the customer service side.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a lot of guys don't know how to interact and have a conversation with the customer. So a lot of that kind of gets shut down at the door when you walk in, and the intimidation's there, and you can't talk to the guy, and then it's just, you're out the door. So a lot of the customer service, the cleanliness, things like that.
And that's huge. And I want to talk about like tattoo culture, because that's big, right? If you go into somebody and kind of, wait a minute, like this isn't like up to standards, right? And then those are frowned upon within the community.
It is. It's frowned upon against, like, a lot of guys go about it the right way. Some don't. So it is frowned upon. A lot of it's that cross-contamination, man. You're cutting someone open. You're putting ink in them, so you want to be clean. You don't want to. you want to be in a nice sterile environment. So a lot of the cleanliness is what I learned out there in San Diego. So
yeah. So what about skill wise? Do they kind of help you with stuff like shading, how to do these certain things?
They teach you some
because
of that.
you switch between needles, right? Depending on if you're doing shading, stuff like that. So how did they help you with that?
Yeah, they'll teach you needle size, depth, a lot of like color and saturation, theories like that, and just ways to, you know, make the process faster, like way to like make the stencil a little more simple and just kind of make
so
things
simplify some stuff.
Simplify some things, yeah.
So what's that like? Can you tell me a little bit of what that looks like? If somebody comes in like, I want this, and then you simplify it, like
yeah. So a lot of people come in now with the AI stuff, so that's kind of hard to simplify something that's crazy.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'll turn that down a lot. I do a lot of traditional stuff, so I still have to draw things, which is nice. So you can simplify a lot of things by just taking out a lot of the crazy, like little small detail and stuff like that. And it's going to make that piece look a lot better.
And that's interesting. You take out the detail, but it actually looks better. And you have to know that, right, going into it.
Right.
And you can maybe, like you said, the customer service side, it's like, no, I really want this. Like, I know you think you want it, right? It's like, yeah.
But this is going to be a disaster. You know what I mean?
It's not going to be a good ending to this. And you're going to get mad at me. And then I got to go out and it's like, yeah, I did do that tattoo, but I didn't want to.
Show your whole family and everybody in Yuma, you know, and then it's not looking too good. So
then, so how'd you end up in Yuma?
So we were first out in Phoenix. So we've been out in Arizona for about 8 years now. I was just trying to get closer to home, and I like the culture out here and it feels a little more diverse.
What was it like when you got to Phoenix?
It was cool. It's a little busy. So it's kind of like San Diego, but the heat.
Yeah, and you said where you're at in Imperial Beach area, that it was more of a small town feel.
Right.
But you had San Diego right there if you needed to go to the big city.
Yep.
And then so you get to Phoenix, and Phoenix is a little bit more like San Diego, the big city stuff.
Right, and then I opened up out there. So I had my first shop out there, and it was busy, and I had an artist, and he's like, hey, man, if you're trying to relocate, you should try Yuma, because he was out here for a while. And he's like, it's, you know, your San Diego's right there and Phoenix is right here. So, bam, I was like, hey, let's go. We're going to go to Yuma.
So you just told the family, like, all right, this is what we're going to do.
That's it.
And you started looking for places to live. And
that was it, yeah. A big thing with me, I was always tried to own a house. So moving forward and trying to own a house, you know, I was just like Googling and looking, and, you know, Yuma popped up, and I was like, hey, that's
a lot cheaper than Phoenix and San Diego, right?
Is, yeah, a lot cheaper. Well, now it's starting to.
It's going. Yeah, it's climbing. You know, as
Sorry
more people.
About that. No,
it's your fault. You're coming over here.
Yeah.
But so then when you get here, do you automatically open up a shop? What do you do?
Automatically open up a shop. Yeah, I didn't find myself working with anyone. I kind of looked around and stuff like that, and reached out to a few people, but I just figured, you know, I could still run my own thing out here. It just works better for me. Yeah.
So how do you do it? You're a newbie here for Yuma, right? You're in the game for a little bit, but nobody knows you. So how do you start, like, you know, chipping away?
I just started doing it, man. I just hit the ground running. I opened up. I just started kind of reaching out to a few people. I went to right there across the street military base and was just handing out cards.
Okay, because military people come through here, and definitely that's a lot of. I grew up around tattoo shops, you know, so military, they come in constantly here.
I opened up. I kind of got lucky, so I opened up right when WTI was out here.
Oh, okay.
And I was across the street and I was handing out cards, and I was like, dude, there's like 20,000 Marines right here. Like, okay, and then. I think like the next day I had like five guys hit me up, and they came in all at the same time and all got tattooed, and then that was it.
So then they go back and they kind of tell their friends like, hey, you got to go over there.
Yep.
And you said you were across from the Marine base? You had a shop there?
Yeah, we were right across the street for about a year. And then I had like a 1,200 square foot unit, but it was just me. So it was a little overkill.
Yeah. And you mentioned family. Obviously, it's in the name. So why is that family part important for you?
So family is a big thing to me. I grew up a little rough without, you know, mom and dad around and stuff. So when me and my wife started having children, you know, the family thing and the family aspect is real big to me. I've always wanted a strong, you know, family unit. So I've always wanted a solid family, man. So
yeah. And so you put it in the name. And then how do you live it out in the culture?
Just staying out there, man, welcoming everybody in, keeping it a family unit, you know, everybody's welcome, just keeping it tight, keeping it real, keeping it solid.
Yeah, and then you mentioned on your social media that you could go, and I know this, I do social media for a living, but you could go and you could put this really cool piece that you do spend a lot of time on, this excellent tattoo. You put it up on your Instagram and it'll, get a few likes here and that. But if you put some video of you and your family at like Wayland's Water World or at the river, what happens?
It goes crazy, man. I think it's a lot of it was, trying to showcase the art, but I think people want to see who you are now.
Yeah.
They want to see your family. They want to see that side of you. So I guess putting my face out there and my family out there, it's a little hard at times, because I'm putting my kids out there.
Yeah, so you want to be careful or whatever, be respectful and everything.
Yeah. So it's just trying to get the eyes on us and let people know that we are a real family shop, you know what I mean? And we're here for the community. We're here for the long run, so...
Very cool.
Yeah, so Victor, did he convince you? Is he a good enough guy that we could go and get Victor's first tattoo?
If and when I get a tattoo, you'll be the first person I call.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
And so let everybody know where they could find you on Instagram.
So you can find us at Solid Family Tattoo. Our location is 1700 South First Avenue, Suite 114, right here in Yuma.
All right.
Johnny, you got to show the ink again. Show on camera.
It's peeling a little bit if
a few days in there.
Very cool, yeah.
But I will
Mike with the Arizona.
I'll come back on Monday with another one, so wait and see for that. But,
DVD, yeah.
Do you have the next guest in front of you?
Edna Castro. She does real estate in Yuma and San Luis, Arizona.
Yeah, she has an amazing story to tell. We're going to find that story out after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Turn on Border Radio KOFA 94.7 FM and cross musical borders every day. From new indie discoveries to timeless classics, listener-supported Border Radio brings you music you won't hear anywhere else. Live, local, and online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app.
What's Up Yuma Radio is sponsored by Citrine Law LLC, a locally owned Yuma law firm practicing criminal defense, DUI defense, and personal injury law throughout Yuma County and across Arizona. Citrine Law serves clients in English and Spanish. Information at citrinelaw.com.
For KAWC News in Yuma, I'm Victor Calderon. A former standout who played for 3 years on the Arizona Western College men's basketball team in Yuma is realizing his dream of making it to the NBA. Yaxel Lindeborg, who played for the AWC Matadors from 2020 to 2023, was selected by the Golden State Warriors with the 11th pick in the NBA draft on Tuesday. In Yuma, Lindeborg became the NJCAA's all-time leading rebounder. After AWC, Lindeborg signed with UAB and then transferred to Michigan, who he helped win the national championship in April. Now he's going to join four-time NBA champions Stephen Curry and Draymond Green in San Francisco. Matadors athletic officials said Lindeborg is the fifth player in Arizona Western men's basketball program history to reach the NBA. He's the third Matador to be drafted and the second in program history to be taken as a lottery pick. For KAWC News in Yuma, I'm Victor Calderon.
The Yuma County Library District provides activities and resources at its branches for people of all ages. Events include story time, citizenship classes, bilingual programs, crafts, author talks, and more. For more information about the activities and calendar of events, plus other in-person and online resources, visit yumalibrary.org.
Why is music an important part of your life? For many of us, music lets us see the world from someone else's perspective. We can find community in hearing someone else's joy, sorrow, or hope expressed in song or melody. KOFA Border Radio is your local, non-commercial source for great music.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here now joined by
Edna Castro. She's a real estate agent serving Yuma and San Luis, Arizona with the Realty Agency. Thank you for being here this morning.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
Get a little bit closer to the mic if you could. I think I found you on Instagram or something. I saw you're out there. You're doing your stuff for real estate. We're definitely going to get to that. But tell everybody, where are you from originally?
So I was born in San Luis, Rio Colorado, right across the border from San Luis, Arizona. That's where I was born, but I grew up in San Luis, Arizona.
Okay, so you grew up, what's it like growing up in San Luis, Arizona?
Well, back in that time, there wasn't as much as there is now. It's grown so much.
They're lucky now, aren't they?
Yes,
the kids
they have
over
a
there.
Starbucks.
They got a Starbucks.
Starbucks, and like the Southeast is just popping with like all the like Eddie's food and drink
They
and
have
all the
such
stuff
good
around
sushi. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So is it different? But it was a smaller town feel definitely when you grew up, right?
Yes. So it was kind of like just more family oriented because of it. Like there wasn't that much to do. So everybody kind of just did things as a family. So yeah, this family oriented.
Mm-hmm. And so when you were young, you said, when did your family come here from Mexico to the United States?
So my mom, our family is in Mexico.
Okay.
And my mom decided to come to live to San Luis, Arizona because of work.
Work. Okay, that's what I wanted to find out. So,
yes, the field
job, job opportunity, field work.
Yes.
That's a very common story. And see, also maybe opportunity or.
Yes, exactly. That's what it was. She wanted to like us to grow up here. So she started working. She was working, but actually she met my stepdad. So she didn't work after that.
Oh, okay.
So
lucky her. No.
Yes.
So she met your stepdad, and then so when did you come here? Like young? You're very young.
I was 4 years old.
4 years old. Okay.
Because I remember just like being so excited to start kindergarten. And yeah, I was 4 years old, and we lived in not like the street, main street, an alley? Like a trailer in an alley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's where I grew up. And then eventually, my stepdad, he said, you know what, let's get a house. And we moved into a house.
And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, too, is that, because that's very important. And it seems like a dream that's lost now, but we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. So you grew up there. Now, 4 years old. Did you know English at the time?
No.
No, not at all, huh?
No. I learned it because I started kindergarten. So I remember the classes, they would teach us how to write, everything. And I never went to school in Mexico.
Oh, okay. So everything you learned then was on this side of everything. So,
yes.
So yeah. So you're learning that. Was it frustrating for you or?
Well, yes.
You said excited, but...
I think it still is a challenge for me to speak English because I grew up with my family speaking full Spanish. In San Luis, Arizona, it's rare people that speak English. If you go to the
Tell
gas
me
station,
about it.
If you go,
everybody.
it's kind of like a San Luis, Mexico, but like, more clean and stuff.
Yeah.
But... yes, I feel it's still a challenge because of San Luis, Arizona having all that Spanish. So we all spoke Spanish in school. We grew up talking Spanish. And then,
So even though you're learning English in kindergarten, first grade, you have this, but just naturally around everybody else knows Spanish. So it's easier to go back to what you know, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you said now it's even today it's you find it difficult just because that's just the norm.
Yes, I remember actually the first time that I kind of realized, I don't talk good English. It was when my stepdad had to come to work here in Yuma for some time. So we were in the process where they had sold their house, and then we were going to get a new house. So then we lived here for like a year or so, and I had to go to school here in Yuma. I went to school, I think it was like 5th grade or 6th grade when that happened. But the kids would make fun of my English. They would really make fun of it, and I felt horrible. And I hated going to school. So eventually we went back to San Luis, Arizona. So, yeah.
Okay. So then you mentioned that your stepdad, can you say what he did for a living at all?
He did construction work. He was an engineer, heavy machinery engineer. So he did a lot of work here, like building stuff.
Okay. So he's in that. And then you mentioned that he said one day we're going to get a house. We're going to get this house. So that was probably a pretty big deal, right?
Yes.
So do you remember that?
Yes.
What's your memories of getting that house?
And I think that's why it's been like in me thinking like having a home is so important and things like that. Like I grew up thinking that way. We first lived in what it was his house. He had owned it. I guess he prior marriage. But my mom was like, I don't want this house.
Yeah.
So they sold it. I remember they remodeled it. They put money into it. They made it look like so modern. It was like the nicest house in the street. My stepdad, he knew all the good connections to get all the people to work on the house, and they sold it. And then what they did is actually like build their house like customized. They got with a person that was selling this lot. Now the house is still there, but it was like close to what was like the main street. It wasn't like far out. Like nowadays, there's so many houses, and they bought that lot. They built the house, however my mom wanted it. The floors, the ceilings, everything. That was really exciting, and it's a really beautiful house.
Beautiful house. And so you said that's why you think you still have that that drive or that vision, because you felt great in that moment, right?
Yes.
When you guys got your own home. Now, when you were young, did you say you wanted to be in real estate too, or what was it that you looked forward to do?
When I was young, I didn't even know real estate agents existed.
Yeah.
Because
who does when you're young, right?
Because there was no social media. And nowadays they're all over social media.
Very much so.
But no, when I was young, I wanted to be a lot of things. First I wanted to be a judge because I would watch the X-Files and I liked all that like criminal stuff.
Yeah.
Later I wanted to be a teacher. Later, when I grew up more and I thought, being like into like acting is fun, being on TV, that's fun.
Oh, you kind of wanted to do that,
I was dreaming, yeah. I was dreaming.
Okay.
And but once I got older, more, realistic, I wanted to be in the medical field.
Okay, is that what you did? Did you go to school for that?
I took some classes, but I didn't really like finish it. I just worked, but I worked in medical offices for like many, many years, like over 10 years, doing office administration, some tech work, medical assistant. So yeah, I kind of did do that.
Yeah, so did you enjoy it?
Yes, I really liked it. It was like a stable job. And I did it for so long because of that. I was good at it. I liked what it consists of, meeting people at work and like making friends and things like that.
So are you a social person then? You said meeting people and...
I'm not really. I've been told I am a... what do they call that?
Introvert?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But I really think it just depends of where I'm at. Like, look at right now, I'm in the radio.
Yeah, but it's just us. There's just four people.
It's a conversation.
Yeah, there's only four people in this room.
Yeah.
So, because I asked, because in real estate, you got to meet a lot of different people, right? Because a lot of different people maybe might be interested in buying the house, and a lot of things fall through. So you got to find that right person to get it. So you have to have some social dynamics going on, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So how it works with me is that, yes, I'll be kind of like more private to myself, but I realized like I am so into the real estate that like when I got my first call for like someone telling me like they needed help looking for a house, it was like I turned on. Turned on, yes.
Yeah.
It was just like a conversation, natural, the questions, everything felt like so good.
Now, I kind of mentioned this because like people would think like, oh, that I'm an extrovert, right? Because I kind of do this, people kind of assume. So even yesterday at the ceremony for Dr. Ratika Dewan, I was totally nervous. I don't like big things. Like I have to like take some ashwagandha or something. Yeah. Because big settings frighten me. But this, like right here, we're just chilling, right?
Yes.
But I have to kind of get over that for my job and kind of go out there and like, people think, oh, maybe he's rude because he's over there sitting by himself.
Yeah.
No, I'm freaked out because social settings intimidate me.
Yeah, and you weren't even one of like the 19 speakers that were scheduled. Imagine if you had been like asked to like make some comments.
I would definitely. That's when I would throw up, Mom Spaghetti. It's like, go up there and talk. But thank God, no, I wasn't. But so you said when you got that first call, though, something turned on. Yes. Like, what was that first call like for you?
Well, at first, I honestly thought I was being pranked. I was like, somebody's calling me, they're pranking me, they want to see how, but I guess that's how paranoid I can get, So a little bit I was like hesitant, but then I said, no, I mean, this is what they're calling me for. This is what I do. And I just started asking all the questions about like where they want to live at, why they are wanting to move. And at first, like clients will be a little bit hesitant as well. But then once you ask some questions, I feel like they'll kind of ease into it, like into the conversation.
So then how did you start in real estate? Did you have like a friend in it that said, you should do this? Tell me a little bit about that.
So the funny thing is that this started like 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago. I did have friends saying like, oh, we should become realtors. Like being a realtor is so cool. You're going to do so good. That's kind of like the idea. So I took the class for real estate, the 90-hour class. It was offered in person at the Civic Center. And I went for it. At that time, it was like $400. And I said, I'm going to make the investment into it. And I did take the class. It was like maybe 2 months long or something like that. But it was like afternoon because I was working. So I had to like work and then make time to go to the class. And eventually, I passed the class. But then comes the real deal where you have to get the state test passed. So that's kind of where I was going through things also like with my family where I lost my job and I had just finished that class and I kind of had to find a job. So I couldn't really focus on the test. I had to focus on getting a job and because I had my house and things like that. So I got just a job and then I started, I tried to pass the test, but I didn't. I didn't pass it and I gave up because I felt like I couldn't really focus on it because I was starting a new job. And when you start a new job,
right? Yeah.
You have to focus on that.
So we're going to take a quick break. And one thing I think I skipped is I want to talk about when you got your first house and then when you sold your first house as a real estate agent. We're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Today's day sponsor is me, Cindy Carpian, wishing Dave Reek a happy retirement. I worked with Dave at KNAU in Flagstaff 30 years ago. He wasn't running that station then, but it sure felt like he could. I'm so glad you are all recipients of Dave's talent and all-around goodness. Best to Dave and his wonderful family.
The National Weather Service encourages us to take actions to lessen the impact of extreme heat today in Quartzsite, Parker, and Yuma. As afternoon temperatures near 112 degrees, winds are becoming southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight with a low near 79 degrees.
There is so much advice about decluttering, like the Marie Kondo method, where you ask yourself, does this item spark joy? Well, donating a vehicle that you don't need anymore to KAWC and Border Radio is an easy way to help us bring you the programs that bring you joy. And it's a great way to declutter. Learn more at kawc.org/cars.
I use KAWC almost on a daily basis in my car. It's the background for chores around my house. And I go to the website and look for stories that are of interest, and I listen to podcasts. I look to the news on NPR because I'm looking for something beyond the headline or a soundbite or a gotcha moment. I really want news that shows me sort of the multiple dimensions of a story, that seeks information from multiple sources and doesn't tell me how to think. It just presents the issues, and I really appreciate that. Being a sustaining member of a service like KAWC takes the mystery out of it for me. So I know that I am supporting every month. I also know that I don't have to remember to sit down and write a check at the end of the year or a budget for a check at the end of the year, right? It's kind of coming out of my account every month, and that makes me feel a little bit like I'm part of the team. I'm Lori Stoft from Arizona Western College, and I'm a proud supporter of KAWC Yuma.
From KAWC, this is Siendo Primero.
Oh, classes are over, and it's time for a summer break.
We are taking some time to rest and prepare new topics for the next semester.
But you can still listen to all of our past episodes at any time.
This show is available as a podcast or online. Just search kawc.org under the show's tab.
Have a great summer, and we'll hear you soon on Siendo Primero.
It's been said that community radio is a rare medium that's well done. It's a cute play on words, but it's also quite true. Community radio is unique, both for our programming and for our source of funding. We are funded by you, those who listen faithfully. So please give now at borderradioaz.org. And thanks.
If you're tired of listening to long commercials before finally hearing music, look no further. We've got you covered. Whether you're searching on your radio, trying to find an app to play some tunes, or need background music playing on your computer while finishing up some work, KOFA Border Radio is your non-commercial place for music.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here now joined by
Edna Castro. She's with the Realty Agency, and she was telling us she just started with them. But before we get into that, Johnny wanted to ask you about, your own personal journey with home ownership.
Yeah, so you mentioned, right, that you couldn't pass because you couldn't focus.
Yes.
Right? Because you had a house. Already, because you're working, you had a house. Tell me a little bit about when you first got your house. And I think in your bio you put you were a single mom at the time, and that it was a big deal for you to get your own home.
Yes. So I think in my bio, I also added about how at some point I was living in a shelter with my kids. So I was very young when I left my house. I went through some problems, and I ended up they call it the safe house here. It's not Amberly's place. It's a different place. It's kind of like a private place where like victims of domestic violence go. Yeah. So I went through the whole process with them of being there. I had my oldest one. He was like 3, and I was pregnant with my who now is 19 years old. I went through that. So for me, buying my house was so important. Going through all of that, luckily they helped me very much. They
at this place that you were staying, yes. They helped you. Like what kind of help?
So they had an assistance where once I started working, and I had to have my baby first because I was like all 8 months pregnant when I was there.
Pregnant.
Yeah, so I had my baby, and a month, when my baby turned a month, I was like, I'm going to start looking for a job. They offered like daycare assistance to me. They were like, if you get a job, we're going to offer you daycare assistance. If you get a job, we're going to offer you where we pay your first rent, your deposit. We're going to set you up. I guess that's offered, in those places. So I got on it. I got a job. I started working at a furniture store here in town.
Okay.
And with that, they helped me get a studio. So that was already a big accomplishment for me to have my own place. I was like 20 years old at that time. But then, I just went on to like eventually get like a 2-bedroom and get an apartment. And when I was at the apartment, it just started to be kind of like my kids were growing up. I started noticing like neighbors were buying their house. So they were moving out. We were getting new neighbors that I kind of like, I didn't feel comfortable with. People would argue about parking spaces, and I just thought, I don't want my kids growing up like this, although they have great memories of living there because they played with all the kids.
Where was it at? I'm curious now.
At the Terracina apartments. Okay. It's like low-income apartments, but we lived there for like 5 years. So, that was like their whole childhood. There was a pool. Yeah. All the kids played outside. But when we got the house, I started saying like, it's time for us to buy a house. My coworker was looking for a house, and it just like made me think maybe I should start looking as well, which was awesome because that at that time houses were not as pricey. I jumped on that, and a realtor. I met a really nice realtor. She introduced me to the lender, Jesse, and we got it done. I worked most of my life, so they were able to get me, approved. And I remember buying my house. I just wanted a certain neighborhood because it was close to schools for my kids. Those are like
goes behind the scenes decisions that you make. You're looking like, okay, what's the best schools? You're making that part of the process. Yes. And then you say, this is where I want to be. Find me the right place in here.
Yes, I said I like this area. I wanted my kids to be able to just walk to school because I had to work. I couldn't take them. So it was just easier for me. I've heard, always you should try to make your life as easy as possible,
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So that was part of my decision to the area. And I love my house. My kids grew up there. They're grown already.
What was that feeling though when you got the key?
It was accomplishment. I remember I took pictures of that key and the documents when they gave them to me. I posted it on Instagram, and it was like just a feeling of accomplishment. I was so proud of myself for doing that. I understand how that feeling is.
So then fast forward, you said that you were having troubles to pass the test because you couldn't focus. Now, how did you circle back around and say, okay, I'm ready to do this?
So, 9 years later, I researched if I could still use the class certificate, and I guess it's good for 10 years. So I was able to still use it. But
wow, you're like right at the deadline almost.
Yes,
you said 9 years later, and then at the 10-year certificate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it just made it easier for me to be able to test for the state test. But I still went and got an online course. I still tried. But I still was not passing it. And then an agent that's a friend of mine, she said, check out this YouTube guy, on YouTube. He teaches a lot. So that was what changed everything. I would watch these YouTube videos. He basically teaches the whole for free.
Yeah, he teaches everything, but there's something that clicked with you, like, okay, now I understand it.
Yeah, because the course, it was still hard, so I was still not passing the test. Last year it was all together, so you would be 5 hours in that room here, here at the college, and it was still difficult to me. I tested twice, and it was 2 tests together, the state and the general. And then this year when I tested, I found out that now it's separate. So you can test state separate, which, maybe it's easier because you're not in there 5 hours.
5 hours, that's a long time.
You can focus on one specific test. So I came in after watching those YouTube videos for all day in my car, just nonstop. And I passed first the general. So I was like, okay, well, I guess from here on, I just have to focus on the state. And I did. It was more of the YouTube videos did not really focus on the state as much. So I had to go into books and things like that. I came in, I finished it an hour early. And I said, well, I guess,
Wow, there it is. And then, so how do you find that you're at the realty agency, right?
Yes.
And so how do you find that? How do you say, okay, I'm going to.
So what I did is go into Instagram. I looked up,
Instagram solves a lot of problems. And so does YouTube, right?
I find everyone there, the hair people.
Yeah.
I looked at many of the brokerages in town, and I just kind of interviewed many of them as well. I talked to them, and Nabil, she is so great, and I said, okay, this is where I'm going to be. She made me feel so comfortable, and I admire her very much. So.
All right. And so you said you're new. So when I said about selling that, you haven't sold your first house yet, but you're out there looking to give what you received years and years ago was that key, right, to your own home. You're trying to do that. Now, it seems like, and I just wanted to bring this up, I hear from a lot of kids now, they feel like they're never going to own their own home. That's what I'm hearing a lot of. So what would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them that I felt the same way years ago. When I was 20 years old at a shelter, I never thought I was going to be able to own my own home. But it is possible. Yes, prices are higher, and it seems like it's something unreachable. But there is a lot of programs that do exist, and that's where you have to talk to a professional, because if you are really serious about doing that next step in your life, you just have to let the professionals handle it.
So what can you say about the market right now in Yuma and San Luis, right? Because those are the 2 cities that you work in, right? Are there available homes? Like you said, there are programs for people who want to be first-time home buyers, but what's the market look like right now?
So yes, right now, currently, what I think personally is that it's leaning more towards a buyer's market. So what that means is that the buyer can really negotiate, and they can find a good home that they really like. Because back in the time time where the houses were priced less, it was very competitive. So you wouldn't get the house. It happened to me. I first saw a house because I just wanted a house, and I said, yeah, let's get this one, make an offer, and it would sell. Like the next day, it would sell. Now people just actually have the opportunity to get the house that they really like and negotiate.
Great. Very cool. So now we're going to talk about the jacket. So is that your jacket? Like, did you buy, like, for you?
So no, my son sent me a picture of this jacket. He lives in Phoenix, and I said, wow, that jacket is so cool. And he came down this weekend, and then I told him, I'm going to wear that jacket to the
So it's his jacket?
It's his jacket, and he decorated it. He did all these awesome designs.
Okay. And that's from the movie Labyrinth.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So does he like that movie, or you like that movie, or all the above?
I love that movie. I don't really know if he knows. Well, I used to play when he was little.
Yeah. Labyrinth is a great movie, so that's cool. I'm going to have to show my sister this video and Labyrinth. But
So-
David Bowie.
Yeah, real quick, tell people how they can get more information on you, information.
So Edna Castro with the Realty Agency. Follow me on Instagram at ec.estates. My phone number 928-408-1997.
All right. Thank you so much. And very cool jacket. I dig it. I recognized that right away. I was like, Labyrinth, that's a great movie. Grew up watching it. All right. What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Ornales, Juan Garcia, Dave Reek, and Cecilia.
You can find out more about KOFA at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. Stay tuned for KOFA's Midday Music.
And on tomorrow's program, we have 3 guests, right?
We have Michael Jack from the Kitsan Parks and Rec. We have Julie Velez, she's a bartender, and Alyssa Plaza.
Yep, we'll be having that tomorrow.
You can listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes anytime at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio.
And if you want to get on the show, make sure you visit whatsupyuma.biz. Once again, that's whatsupyuma.biz. Click the radio link right there and then click book me. That's how you get on the show. More and more people are finding us. It's cool to have surprise guests. I love it. This is your show, Yuma. See you guys tomorrow.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Citrine Law, LLC, a Yuma law firm practicing criminal defense, DUI defense, and personal injury law. Information is at citrinelaw.com.
You are tuned into KOFA Yuma Border Radio 94.7 FM and